Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in tonight. Oh man, I'm so pumped up, man. Tonight we have a special guest, Steven Antoniazzi. If we can get him on the show tonight, man, we're gonna try to get him in. We got a lot of great things going on, man. Let me see if I can do something real quick, guys. Let me see if I can just pull a guest in. I'm gonna try to do something here. Hang with me. Let's see here. Paste that in there and send that right there. So, Steven, if you want to get on, man, there should be a link on the right hand side right there. And you click on that link, and I should be able to bring you in. But man, I wanted to give a big shout out to Aaron, Robbie T, Dominique, Therese, Dustin B, Tony, AJ, Malcolm, Charlie C, Aubrey T, all you guys for supporting, and many, many more for supporting the Audio Master Facebook group. Man, we appreciate every one of you, man. It's just awesome having you guys come in and support the channel as well, because we got a lot of great things going on, man. And it's just really neat seeing everybody come together as a place that we can all meet as a hub and join up and share our ideas, our music, engineers, and what we're doing in the studio. It's just such a cool thing, man. And I just like I say, I just want to appreciate if there's some names that I missed out. It's not because you're not important to us. It's just because as the group continues to grow, man, it's hard to remember everyone. But you guys came to mind tonight, and I was thinking, oh man, I got to give you guys a shout out, man. And see, and just tell you, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. My phone I don't know what it is, you guys, but my phone blows up on me as soon as I start the channel, as soon as I get going, my phone starts to blow up. And I wanted to tell you, it's not because I'll get back with each and every one of you, but if you go to the description area on the right side of the channel, you can type in different things and I can answer your messages and whatnot right here on the YouTube channel. So I know a lot of you guys have my personal messenger and you like sending me stuff that way. But just to let you know that if you feel comfortable, go ahead and hit me up on the YouTube channel, man, because it's really easy to actually get on. And if you type down in the description area, right underneath where it says Audio Master and this little link right here, I can actually see what you're typing and answer your questions in real time, man. So it's a really, really cool thing. I did also want to say today I was trying to link up my Audio Master YouTube channel with my Facebook group channel today. And although I've done it in the past and it wouldn't let me do it today. So I was like, oh man. So I got to get out there and I've got to, actually share the video after the fact to the Facebook group. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. If you just want to join me here on my YouTube channel, you can do that by just going to Audio Master on YouTube and you can join me and in real time we can chat. But I was hoping I would get that working today and actually be able to, stream in two different places. So there you are, Steven. I see you down there. Hey, man, I'm going to add you to the stream. Oh, there you are. Do you see me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this set up here. Yeah, I can see you.
All right. Do you hear me okay?
I could hear you. I'm just trying to see. Oh, see, it won't let me turn the thing sideways. Okay, good.
Okay.
Right. We're okay.
Perfect. You can hear me. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect, man. Good deal, man. Was it hard getting on?
A little jumping through hoops, but it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't
Good
bad.
deal. Good deal, man. Well, I'm glad I got you on. I've been wanting to get you on the show. And there's so many things that you and I can talk about and share with people in the group, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so, man, I'm glad you made it back and you made it back safe from your vacation.
Yeah.
But look, man, I wanted to ask you tonight, I wanted to ask you, how and when did you fall in love with recording music?
Oh, it's for me. It's like it's part of my life. It's like a lifestyle, you know. Ever since I was like as young as like 14, I got this little disc, like not disc, tape recorder. You know those flat ones, the old school ones from the 80s, and I
Yeah.
record stuff and play it back, and I loved it. And then I ended up getting a Tascam Porta Studio 424, and then I could like overdub, and that was just like it just blew me away, and I just loved it. I've always been recording,
Right,
always.
right. So you started out basically on a 4 track.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
so and then
And then
after
went to I had a TSR 8. It's a Tascam 8-track quarter-inch, but with the RCA connectors on the back.
okay,
Then I went to a 002 Digi 02. I skipped the M box. I just went to a 002. And then I went back to tape. While I had the Digi 02, I had an MSR 16, and that's like the version of the Tascam TSR 8. I had two of those, 16 and a 24 track. I think that was half inch, if I remember correctly. Then I went and I bought the Apogee converters and the X series. I had those for 20 something years, and I actually liked them a lot. I think those are great converters. And then, I had an MX70, which is a 1 inch 16 track, and, just snowballed from there. You know how gear is.
right, right, right. So do you still have your Apogees or did you get rid of them?
No, I sold them after I got the Burrows. I got a Burrow mothership that I picked up.
Okay, okay, and you like them a lot, huh? Yeah, the
Yeah, the
Burrows?
Burrow good.
Y
Like
yeah,
when I had my Apogee X series for so long, and my friend he bought the newer Apogees, the Symphonies, and I was able to shoot out the Burls with the new Symphony system, and they all sounded great. But the mothership, just you can't beat those transformers and discrete circuitry in front of the converters, you know.
right, right. Well, hey, we got so much to talk about, and I was like, "Man, I gotta write down a few things I wanna ask you," and one was, you falling in love with music and how that got started and everything. But, I also wanted to ask you, just right off the top of my head while it's still sticking there, what is your favorite go-to in your chain for recording vocals? I mean, like, what's your favorite chain?
Okay, so it really depends on the singer as far as the microphone I would pick, but I always record vocals through my Neve 1066.
Okay. Okay,
When always 90% of the time. There's times that I'll use, my 1064s or a 1272 for doing it really, if it's just the lead singer, it's usually my Neve 1066 and either my U47 or a U87. It just really depends on the vocalist, what is
right.
like.
Right, right, but, out of that, do you compress going in or do you just,
No, yeah. All right. So for a long time, I didn't compress on the way in. And then as I got more comfortable with compressors, I do compress. Like I actually like the Fatso compressor. Yeah, it just, it's just beautiful on a vocal because it's not too intense. It just sort of kisses it, on the way in, just gives it that little bit of couple few dB of gain reduction, and that's it. Not even 1-2 dB of gain reduction. It's perfect.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll also use a DBX 160 for
Mhm.
vocals. But when I use compression as I'm recording, it's not a lot. It's very light-handed. I don't want a heavy compressor on there.
Yeah, yeah, I had that Fatso, and I had the Distressor as well. Ah,
They're great.
I gotta get that back in my studio, man.
They're
I
just
gotta
they're just those classic pieces, like a modern classic that they work. They
Yeah,
you know.
right. Well, hey, Malcolm says hello. Hello, Malcolm. Thank you for joining in tonight, man. We appreciate you.
I'm glad he's here. I can't see the messages, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
All
It
right.
should be. Can you? Well, I can read it out when people type in.
Oh, no.
But we're gonna figure this out where we can actually, I think other people can join us later on.
That'd
And
be great.
so yeah, so that'll be really, really cool, to have me and you, and then maybe 2 other engineers, and we could just, go on and on and on.
Yeah, Malcolm down there in the messages. I met him a few years back. He introduced me to some cool gear, the Audioscape. He introduced me to Audioscape, and I love that gear. They make clones of classic pieces. So yeah, me and Malcolm go back a few years now. He plays drums, good drummer.
Sweet, sweet. I did see that video you did on the Audioscape stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, man.
good stuff.
Yeah. Wow, wow. Hey, I wanted to ask you, are you so booked up that, let's just say somebody wants to, hire you out to do a session with you, how can they get in touch with you, man? I
They
mean
they could either call or email me. A lot of people like I notice on my messages on under my YouTube videos, like you could get a hold of me. Message me, tell me about your project. I don't take on every project. Some I'm just not right for, but I do take a lot of projects. I'm a busy guy, but I make room for stuff. I find time. So
okay,
not
okay.
yeah, I'm not unreachable. And I'm nowhere near as expensive as people actually think.
Yeah, yeah,
This
what
like my studio is a way of life for me. I will always have it.
right, right.
I,
Well, you know what I'm gonna do, Steven, is after we finish the show tonight, and we got, we'll probably do many, many more,
sure.
okay, if you're up to it. But
Yeah,
but what I'd like to do, man, is just get your information and put it in the description at the bottom.
no problem, man.
That way, after the fact, if somebody, is reading it, they can find you.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah,
It'd be really, really cool.
put that in there.
Oh, he says, Malcolm says, I'm one of Steve's students. Right on, man. Right on, Malcolm. Awesome, man. So, hey, I was thinking about that too. That's what I really like to do as well, Steven. I like to just kind of kiss those compressors, just to add the color
Right.
to the mix for the vocalist or whatever. But I really, really been digging. I had the old U 87 by Neumann. I love that microphone, man. I loved it. It was just a really nice mic, but I don't know if you can see this one in the picture now, but I have the Telefunken AK-47.
Yeah, that's tube, right?
It is a tube,
Yeah.
and it's just like a little 87 to me on steroids a little bit.
Like,
And it just I mean if you've got a pop vocalist that comes in,
yeah,
wow. It sounds really, really good, man. And
right.
so it was this one, but they stopped making it, man. They stopped making the AK-47.
I remember when those came out, and they've been out for what, 7, 8 years now.
At least.
Okay, yeah, I remember when those come out because back then, like I don't need anything now. I mean, I'll still pick up here and there, but I'm done spending $5,000 on a pot at a time on gear. I have everything I need. I'm pretty happy with it.
Right,
Uh,
right.
that level to where I'm comfortable. I know I can make a record, any kind of record with the gear I have.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm learning all the time and always discovering new stuff, but I'm good gear wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when those came out. So that was about the time that I was actually looking for mics and purchasing mics. So I remember those AK-47s.
Yeah, man. It's a sweet little baby. I love it, man. I tell you what, they have another one called the Copperhead.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
I
I
I
remember that.
I think they're still selling that baby, but, hey, I wanted to ask you as well. When you're tracking, do you go straight to your DAW or do you go to your 2-inch?
Okay, so that's again everything always depends on the band, right? So, and I usually um am recording pretty good bands. So what I like to do is this. I like to record drums, bass, and main rhythm guitars to tape. And then everything else like vocals and any lead solos would be like scratched to tape. Then I'll dump it to Pro Tools through my Burrow mothership, and then we'll do all the overdubs in there. But many times I just bypass the tape machine and just record the Pro Tools. And it
R
works out the way. Tape is just another thing, you know. Sometimes it adds something that's really good, but the band has to be there. You know what I'm saying? They have to be able. They have to be good musicians.
Right, right, right. And they'll record to a click track, or how does
Oh yeah.
that?
Oh, we
Yeah,
set up all that. Yeah. Yeah. I
right,
bands, full
right.
full bands live. Or I could record them full bands live and then overdub or piece it out anyway. It doesn't matter. It just depends on the band and how they want to do it.
Yeah. Do you ever have a vocalist that sounds or sings better without his cans on?
I just had that. I was in the middle of a mixing an album. All right, 12 songs. We've been working on this for a while, and he heard a backup vocal that he wanted to redo. And I'm like, when I'm in the middle of a mix, I'm down for adding little licks or whatever the feedbacks, whatever they want to add last minute. I love that. Right? It's just like adding like little sprinkles on the cake. So he couldn't hit it. And this is a great singer. For some reason, he couldn't hit these oohs he was trying to hit. So I go, let's do this. And I was having him sing into the Shure SM7. That's a great microphone all around. You know that one there, don't you?
Right on. That's what I'm talking. Yeah,
Right. And as soon as he took the headphones off, he nailed it.
I know.
He nailed it.
I know. And here's the thing. I've experienced that too, man. Some singers will sing sharp, some will sing flat. And the singer will know, hey, either I'm on or I'm off. They've got their good nights and bad nights too, right? And it all goes down to, I mean, they can hear things that you and I sometimes can't.
Oh yeah.
And they'll say to you or me, hey, I can do it better. Or give me another track, or let me sing that again, right? And so what's cool about the Shure, if they set up in your studio or right in the mixing room and listen to the monitors with no cans, they get it. They nail it.
Perfect. And that mic is not going to pick up your monitors too much. You throw a gate on, and afterwards you could clean it up and edit it. It's fine, especially for a backup vocal.
Right, right, right. Hey, let me ask you, man, why I don't know, like things come in my mind as we're talking and stuff I would like to talk about, but do you ever EQ going in? Or you don't
Well,
you
here's the thing. All right, so yes, I do. So my typical vocal on a lead vocal, all right, and I'll go off the last album. The whole thing was him singing through a U47 clone into my Neve 1066. And some songs I went through the DBX 160 VU, and some songs I would go through the Fatso. It just depends. But on the Neve 1066, and I find this with Neve 10 series modules, and when I say Neve, it doesn't matter if they're BAE or Heritage or whatever you got. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Kick in that EQ, it adds like a magicness to it. It's really cool. It's like part of the circuit. And I don't just like compression. I'm not going to over EQ. I'll definitely high pass and clean out some low end,
Right,
but
right, right.
EQ on the way in.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm not scared. You know,
Right. No,
I,
no.
I don't care.
Right,
'Cause
right,
work. You know what I'm saying?
right. And you know what? I think you said it all. If it sounds good,
That's it. That's it.
and you're running it through that high-end gear, and it's like adding just the butter to it, man, the sheen.
Yeah, and it definitely helps because here's the thing, and everyone you get into recording, you're going to learn this at some point. Good gear definitely helps and it matters. But the most important thing is the song,
Yes.
perform the song, and then the room and capturing it and all that comes after that. Because if you got a good song and you perform it good, even if it's a bad recording, the song is going to trump a bad recording or a bad mix.
Mhm, mhm,
But
mhm.
if you do got a good song and a good performer and you got good gear and a good engineer, that's when it's just, that's when
It
hit,
makes it y
that's when
yeah,
hits, you know.
yeah, yeah, and it makes it easier, right? It
Oh,
makes it yeah.
God,
You
it does.
know, wow, and really it's all about the song, but I think you said it best, it all comes together a lot easier for us when the musicianship is there, the performance is there, the vibe is there, right? I've done some stuff, Stephen, where I've rehearsed some stuff out and had bands come in, they rehearsed, and then they at the end of the night they did an improv thing, and it was just the best stuff they did.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times, like bands, they'll overthink it, and they're trying so hard. But when they just let it go and let's just jam, it comes out great.
It comes out great, and it's all about
12-song album that I just finished, um, they recorded all live. We didn't go to tape, all live, jamming together at the same time. And the only thing that was scratched was vocals. But we
right,
did guitar solos and stuff like that. And they just like bands that jam live all the time. They could pull it off in the studio.
right.
We
They
heard.
Yeah, they feel good coming in, and they're relaxed, and they're not nervous. But I tell you what, this is the guy that you and I hear the most out of anybody that's nervous, and it's the singer. You can be a guitarist, you can be a pianist,
I
but the
found,
ner
know what, I have noticed a lot of nervous drummers though too.
have you? Okay. Well, you
Like
know
I don't Like, I can tell you stories, man. Like, I have drummers come in. Like, I have bands. There was a time right before COVID where I was rolling with 5 to 7 bands. I'd be tracking mixes somewhere. I was in the stage of mixing, overdubbing, but I'd be having bands in back to back. And I'd use like bands that come here. They're usually using all of my gear. And when I say that, my drum kit, my amps. Sometimes they'll bring their guitars. Sometimes they'll use mine. Sometimes they'll use their guitars and then use mine for overdubs because I got good in my gear. My instruments are studio ready. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
and I don't mind if they bring their amps and their drums and all that. But
Mm,
if mine sounds better, use it. It's whatever sounds best. I don't care. There's no ego in it. I don't use your drums. I don't care.
right,
But so bands usually use my stuff. But I noticed with drummers, like I had a drummer come in for a band and he was so meticulous. Every pitch of every cymbal had to be perfect. Everything, the right height. And I know you want to be comfortable in how you're used to doing it. I usually tell bands, bring your own kick drum and your hi-hat or whatever, because you're used to it.
right.
Meticulous the drummer is, like it wants everything perfect, usually not as good as a player because I've had players come in here that said, nope, it's good, and just nail stuff.
Right. Stand up. I
That's
mean, they can stand up and play it, right?
just they do it. They prefer.
Right.
you know so
Right.
yeah, but yeah, I singers get nervous.
Yeah, but well, I was trying to make a point that you can hear it in their voice.
Yeah, yeah.
When someone's nervous, you can hear it in their voice, and it really shows up, right? Hey, Malcolm writes in, and he says, "I forgot what Steve uses for headphones and monitoring on your monitoring system."
Headphones are monitoring. I got generic 8050As.
Yeah,
um,
but I think he's talking about the headphones. What kind of headphones do you have?
oh, okay, so when the band's playing, I got a bunch of isolation headphones and they are awesome and they're cheap, and we should put a link up if they're still around because they're cheap and they're amazing.
Okay.
They're called Acoustic Control MDS 50s.
Okay. Wow.
They're
Wow.
for tracking, drummers tracking. They have a night enough. I got like 12 pairs of them. They're
Okay.
and they're really good.
So the isolation's real nice on them. There's no bleedage or anything out of
No,
them, or
they're amazing.
wow.
Um, but as far as headphones, I don't mix on headphones.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Sony headphones and the Biodynamic DT 770s, and I have all those different headphones.
Okay. Dynamic Marketing Enterprises LLC says, ask Steve about HID. I'm not sure what that is. HID.
Hmm.
Yeah,
HI,
I don't know what that is, man.
yeah,
I I don't know. Be more specific, I guess.
right.
Um, and then Malcolm asked for the whole band, so that's what he was asking. What
Oh
kind
yeah.
of hit?
So they're
Yeah.
the controls. Here, let me grab a pair. Okay, so I don't know if you can see these, but let me try and get you. All right, here.
Oh, those are nice, dude. Wow.
So they're called Control Acoustic MD-S50. These,
Wow.
and I love these.
Wow. Where did you actually purchase them from?
But
Some
all right, so I had those Vic Firth ones, the isolation ones for drummers, and they
Yeah.
always sounded real harsh and hard to me. And I came across these on like an eBay store, and they were like selling them for like 20 or 30 bucks. And I'm
Wow.
telling you, the you could mix on these.
Wow.
They're warm, they sound fat, they're good. I got like 12 pairs of them.
Oh, wow, wow. Are they comfortable? I mean, they feel good on your head.
They feel good. They're good.
Because you know how some headphones, man, after a while it starts, you start moving it around, and that's the worst thing that you have to do when you're actually putting down a track or something is your cans jacking with you, you
Oh
know?
no, they're stiff, nice and tight. They hold on, they're good. They're good.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, man. Also, Malcolm writes in and says, "I got nerves of steel." LOL. Meaning he don't get nervous when he's playing.
Oh yeah. He's a veteran drummer. He's
That's
good.
all. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, I mean, have you had any bands in your studio lately? Have you been doing anything? You know?
Well, here's the thing. I just finished that mixing that 12 song album. Then I did another project, and I'm in the middle of like mixing mode for a lot of bands right now. I was supposed to have a band come in this month and do a 13 song album, but I was already had Florida booked, right? 3 weeks of Florida booked for way months in advance. So we have to reschedule. Otherwise, I would have been full track in a full band starting a full album this month.
Oh, nice. Bull
Yeah.
Todd, hey, thanks for joining in, man. We appreciate you, man. Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, man. It's like, because I know your schedule and you have, everybody's on deadlines. And sometimes it's like pulling teeth, with bands trying to get everybody together. Okay, when you want to set this date, because when we set this date, we gotta all be there, right? So
And I tell bands, because like I don't know what it is with bands, like it's like I don't know what it is, but like I'll be there. I want the whole band there when we're doing a song. You know what I'm saying? Even if the vocal isn't laying his lead vocals that day, you should have the whole band there. You
right,
know?
right.
So I don't know.
Even if he's just putting down a scratch vocal, and a lot of time the band wants that. They want the singer there to put that scratch in.
Bands come in without their vocalists, and he's gonna be in here next session. Next thing you know, I pull up the tracks and they're like, oh, we're missing a chorus. It's like, well, if you were here, you would have been able to say that before.
Right, exactly, man.
Stuff when I try and weed out the good bands. That's the stuff right there that you know.
Right, right, right. Well, hey, you know what? Have you ever tried any of that Avalon stuff? Avalon gear?
I used to own a pair of 737s.
Wow, wow. I really dig that stuff, man. It's so clean, isn't it?
It's clean and it's forgiving,
Right,
because there's clean that's sterile.
right.
Avalon is clean and forgiving.
Yeah. It
Uh,
remind
It's
it,
one of the best EQs I've ever heard on electric guitars.
Oh, wow, wow. Well, it reminds me of eating vanilla ice cream, man. It's just smooth. It's smooth.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
the that's the best way I can describe that gear, man.
Talking about.
Well, I just love Avalon gear, and then I love their preamps, and I also love those distressors by Empirical Labs. I got to get that back in my studio, man.
It's a great piece, man.
I mean, it starts out the manual just says set everything on 5 right across the board.
Yeah, it does.
And if you set it on 5 right across the board, it sounds great.
Yeah, you're at a good starting point.
I love that stuff, man. So you have some Neve stuff, preamps, right?
Right.
And
So
then
here's the thing with me, Randy. I am a preamp guy. I love preamps. Like I can't get enough of them. I got too
right,
many. It's hard for me to turn down preamps if I see one that I want, because they do. I know what they add to the sound. I know what a good preamp does.
right,
And they're all so different. Like an API and a Neve, they're different. They're both great for rock and roll. They're both great for many different styles of music, but they're different.
right.
Like B72, it's different.
It's different. They all have their own color and taste. Hey, Mr. Product Review writes in. I'm just trying to catch some of these because
Yeah,
I don't want to like not let them know we're here and we
I'll,
want them here.
I'll
But
answer. questions anybody has.
Well, he just says he loves your hat, man. He just says, "I love the Bass Pro Shop hat." Anyway, he's a fisherman. He hangs out with me sometimes, and we do some fishing together, and whatnot. So anyway, he noticed that. But yeah, those different preamps, man. I don't know what it is, man, but the 1176 is the universal audio compressor. I love that compressor. The 610 mic pre that they put out, I had that one. I love that preamp. Man, it was just like thick as a brick, and it really sounded good on my drums, mic and my whatever it was, a room mic on my ribbon, or just for vocals, man.
Good, man.
Ah, man, some great stuff. Great stuff, So anyway, what we need to do, Stephen, is I definitely want to make sure that the people can get your contact.
Yeah, we'll
So
put it. You could put
yeah,
it in the description.
yeah, we
But
need to
I'll put it in the messages.
yeah, we need to do that because like I say, everybody's on a schedule, but it'd be nice to kind of get it fitted in. I'm sure you can probably fit somebody in if it all works out.
Yeah, yeah.
And so anywhere, Poker Man says cool show tonight. Thank you, Poker Man. And then Dynamic Marketing Enterprise says ask Steve how many API 312s he owns. So how many API 312s do you have?
Um, I have some not in use. I think I have 18.
Dang, dude, for real?
Yeah.
Whew, that's a lot, man.
I know it sounds like a lot, all right, and it
Right.
is, but I love preamps, man. And here's the thing: the reason why I have so many is because sometimes when I record drums,
Mm-hmm.
I want to use all the same preamp on a drum kit.
I
The
got you.
response is the same throughout.
Exactly.
Sometimes when I record drums, I want to put my Neves on kick, API on snare, API on toms, Neves on overheads, API on room. You know what I could do? I could I could put in the messages like what I use on a kit. Like I could put like the mics, the pre's, and my different mic setups. I could do that in the messages later. But yeah, I got a lot of API 312s because I love them. You know.
I know. And hey, is that the 500 series or what? What's that in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but they're out of the old consoles.
Okay. Nice.
And here's another thing. So I got a rack of 10 down here, and that I'll use that if I have a whole kit that I'm miking up. But say I'm only doing a guitar overdub and I'm only using 2 microphones, I'm not gonna turn on a rack of 10. I'll turn on the rack of 2, And then if I'm
Right.
just like a tambourine or something, I'll just turn on the one because I got a single one in the lunchbox up there. I could fill that lunchbox, but I don't want to turn them all on if I'm not using them. And if I was,
Right.
I'd turn on that rack. So there's a reason why.
Right. Hey, so this is what we're going to do for everybody. It's going to be great because we're going to be bringing. Everybody wants to know. Everybody loves Hey, if you're an engineer, you love preamps, you love microphones, and you love compressors, man.
We're
You
here.
know. So that's why everybody's asking, hey man, what are you using? But you know what we need to do, Steven, is we need to do, I'd like to do like a little series what we got going on, but I'd like to see you at work a little bit. Somehow we need to be able to figure out our camera system.
We could figure out how you could get a direct audio feed on here, like off the mix of my console. I'll sit on here. I'll do a mix with you guys. We could critique it together, and we'll try different stuff.
Oh man, wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. I mean,
Time you guys can be telling me what compressor to throw on what, and we'll dial it in and we'll do it.
oh man, wouldn't that be all?
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. We got to figure that.
We got to figure that out. I don't know how actually you would go in to. Are you on your phone tonight, or how are you?
I'm on my phone. So here's the thing: I would need my computer, but I got this. Malcolm turned me on to this up here. This DA3000. He had one of those.
Okay.
I think he has a few of them. If some way, because I got the way I have my console going, I have it going back into the burls where I could record my 2 mix back in the Pro Tools. I have it going directly into that because that's an HD clean recorder. If we could take the mix off that, because I'll just leave that rolling in real time and we could mix for 2-3 hours, or
Man, that might be the way we have to do it because I'm not sure how you would get into your phone and do that.
oh, yeah, I got another computer. I got all sorts of stuff. We can make it happen. We just got to figure it out.
So it looked like on one of your videos that I watched, I can't remember which one it was, but I like them all. I love everything you do. But it looked like you had 2 cameras going on. Did you have 2 cameras?
Yeah. So what happened was, all right. So it was like a whole story, and this is why Apple is a multi-billion-dollar company. So on my old computer, I couldn't download video from my phone, right? So I already had these GoPros, so I would have to put it on the GoPro, then download it and sync it up and all that. So I'm like, man, I gotta. And my Pro Tools was old. I couldn't buy any new plugins. This is how companies make millions of dollars.
Right.
Computer, got a new phone. Now my video I could take on my phone is HD, 4K if I wanted. I just do HD 30, and I can link it right up. But yeah, so I have GoPros and my phone that I could record and do different shots on. And I got one that I was strapping on my head, but I stopped doing that. But I could.
Yeah, and somehow come out of your GoPro maybe into a little mixer of some sort, and then to your setup. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But
I don't know.
we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. That'll be really cool because I'm sure everybody would like to really see
I
you
think
in action. Ah,
I would like everyone to get involved.
right.
Real
Right.
time messages and mixing.
I know.
That's awesome.
I know, man, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's just as fun as just, because you and I, and our ears do get fatigued after a certain amount of time behind the board. Okay. So, there's and we have to take a break. But when we're doing this kind of stuff, man, it's so fun because it involves other people,
Yeah.
right? And they're learning and it's like I don't know, man. It's just the greatest thing.
Could use. I got tons of tracks we could use. Or if someone wants to send me some tracks, we'll do it like that.
Yeah. Oh man, won't that be cool, man? So do you ever take any being that you mentioned that, do you ever take it anybody ever just send you stems to their stuff and say, "Hey, man, mix it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more lately. I think because of COVID, I've been getting that a lot more lately.
Yeah, do you like that or do you like doing the tracking?
I like it, especially when they're musicians. I did a band like a month and a half ago or something, and they were all great musicians. They each recorded in their own little studio. I got a video of it up there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look at that video time tick, and that was a band that sent me their stems.
Oh, nice. Well, that singer that you had singing the other day on one of your videos, I watched them all. I'm getting confused, but dude, that guy could sing, man.
An amazing singer, and he's like multi-talented. He's in a pretty well-known band out here in the Chicago area and the United States on a label called The Arrivals. That's little Dave from The Arrivals. Yeah, he's a great singer. Yeah.
Wow.
Voiceover work for a living.
Oh, really? Oh, well, there you go.
Like Allstate commercials, like insurance commercial. He's the voice like that.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
like that. That's what he does.
Yeah.
But good with his voice.
He knows how to use it. He knows how to control it too, right? His air, everything. Like I was listening to him, man. And I like to listen and not just say it's great until I listen. Right.
Yeah.
And you have people say, "Oh, it's a great song. It's a great song." And they're not even listening to the song. But this guy, I actually listened to him all the way, just using how he was using this air and support. Oh man, this guy, he's good, dude.
He's good. Very good. Great singer.
I loved it, man. I love that video. I think I shared that on the group page.
Oh, did you?
I think I did. I think that was the video I shared, man. But we got some great things, man. And so I did want to mention to you, am I cutting out on my vocals like a delay?
Not really. You were for a little bit, but no, you're fine.
Okay.
Am I cutting out on you?
You are.
Oh, I
I
wonder.
I don't know. I mean, I'm showing a good signal here. I'm wondering if it's the internet on your phone. I don't know.
Oh, it could be. I'm on a Wi-Fi right now.
I bet that's probably what it is, but that's okay. We're gonna do fine. We're gonna make it through tonight.
We'll get through it.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, we're gonna do another. We're gonna do another. However many you want to do. It's great, man. I'm here, and I think it's the greatest idea. Uh, so someone else is writing in. Hang on, Steve. Live music streams. Can Steve calibrate my two MCI JH1624 track analog tape machines? I'm in northern Illinois. He wants you they want to see if you can calibrate their 2-inch machines.
He's got a JH16. I have worked on JH16s because my friend he has one in the town right over, and then my other friend has a JH16. I have a JH24, but they're very similar. His probably has the JH114 transport, depending on what year it is, unless it's an early one. But I probably could, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great, man. So you do let's see here. Okay, so Poker Man writes in and says your signal is perfect. The video quality is great. So we're not having a problem.
Good, good.
But so you do technician work too.
I do. Well, see, it's sort of like when I bought my console. I've been doing tech work for a while. I'm an engineer for a living. That's what I do. I run skyscrapers. So I have a full-time job, and that's what I do for a living, which I had to go to school for, and I learned electronics and automation and controls and everything, that plumbing, soldering, electrical, you name it. So that ties into a lot of studio stuff. Like if something needs to be repaired. Now I can't do everything, right? And I have a tech that I pay to do some stuff, you know.
Right.
But when I bought my tape machine and my console, I did it all myself. I refurbished that entire tape machine and recapped the entire thing. I didn't even know how to spool tape on a JH24 when I first got it. Now I
Wow.
apart, rewire it, and put it back together, you know? So, and here's the thing about learning. I want to tell everyone that is listening, you could always learn. You could always learn. At what time you didn't know how to ride a bike. You learned it. Now you know how to ride a bike. That's everything in life. You could do that with everything in life. And this is what I thought a long time ago, because I've seen techs that have completely ripped off friends of mine.
Ah.
Bad. And just take advantage of people, you know. And not just audio techs. I'm talking air conditioning technicians, electricians, whatever, you know. And here's the thing. I'm not saying people shouldn't get paid for their work. They absolutely should. But you shouldn't take advantage of people and lie to them, you know. So
Right.
I learned everything. And if I don't know it, I'll learn it. You know, if a human has learned it and done it before, if someone built it, I could learn it.
Right. Right.
That's stuff you have to have. And it doesn't happen overnight. And there's a lot of trial and error. But you can learn anything.
Yeah, I love that attitude. It's a great attitude, man. And you're so right. So many people, whether it's auto mechanics or something, you take your car in, man, for one thing, and you find out it's something different. And it's just, it's like at that time, I guess it's just, to get out of it and do something different. But you're so right. And whenever you open those components up, I mean, I guess you can kind of see burnt things that are burnt,
Yeah.
maybe bad.
I've had I've had a 1272, and my friend had the same issue where it cut out, and it was literally, you think, oh man, however much it costs, $1,000 or a couple $1,000 preamp, ruined. It was literally like the connector not touching right on the DI, cutting out.
Wow.
A lot of times it's stupid stuff.
Right, right. Just something bad solder joint or whatever.
Crack solder joint, cold solder joint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great, man. You know what? I want to see that. I want to see that 2-inch tape in action.
Oh yeah, yeah. That it's sweet. I love it. I love it.
Wow. Wow. So let me ask you about analog is more forgiving than digital. You know that. You can slam those meters like once you get to 0 dB. And you and I were talking about that the other day about tracking if you're doing digital, go ahead and track -6, 10 dB, and you're going to be okay, man.
Especially now, you could track real low in digital. You could track very low, and you could just turn it up in digital. You're not losing fidelity in digital. Not today's digital. Back then, when in the early 2000s, yeah, but not now.
Right, right.
Digital long way, and it sounds great.
It sounds great, and you've got all that room, all that headroom to work with.
So much. But you're right. Tape is not accurate. It changes the sound. It, but it does it in a pleasing, forgiving way. All right. When I hit tape with drums and guitars, and I said I record bands, then dump it into Pro Tools. I have to use way less compression and EQ when I mix those tracks because the tape already compressed and EQ'd it
Right, right, in a beautiful way.
in a beautiful way, as long as it's calibrated right. You know.
Yeah. Hey, so Mr. Product Review writes in, says, "Great belief system that upped me up, great passion." And he's talking to you, man.
Thank you,
I
sir. Thank you.
I know, man. I can feel it, man. It feels great. I love it. I love it. I love it. But go
This is
ahead.
this is I got a family that I take care of and I love, but when I'm not doing my family and I'm not at work, I'm in this room. This is what I love to do.
No. I know, man. We were talking about that the other day, and I don't know if you've been watching my shows, Steven, but I always try to
Oh,
get on here, and I always try to encourage, man.
I liked you when I first seen your video. I don't even know you at. I think it was on YouTube, and I was like, I like this guy. You're passionate about it,
Oh, man.
and you're consistent too.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you, man. Thank you, Steven. And you know what? I was talking to somebody the other day, and it was actually another musician that I'm actually going to interview. He toured around with Toto and whatnot, and he's got some great stories to share with us. Okay,
Right?
and he was letting me listen to some of his other stuff that he's done with other bands and whatnot, and some CDs they were tracked. And me and him, I was listening. Okay, and then there's someone else over there, but I was telling him, I said, people will never understand the love and compassion like us musicians and engineers do.
Yeah,
Once it's in your blood, man, it's just in your blood, man.
yeah,
We're gonna go out with microphones in our hand and the love and music in our heart.
that's it. And you asked me earlier, like, oh, when did you start? How did you get into it? I remember ever since I was a little kid, not just hearing music, but feeling a certain way because of it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Like, it makes me feel, I feel it.
Right.
I feel it. And it could be a different feeling depending on the music. It might make me happy. It might make me hyper. It might make me, sad. But I feel it in such a way that I don't like being bothered when I'm listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just taking it in
Right. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's those vibrations. Maybe it's those frequencies going on. I don't know.
of everything. It's a little bit of everything. And for a long time, for many years, man, I was not happy with the audio I was putting out for many, many years. This is not an easy process,
No.
you know?
Well, Stephen, it's like an artist, man. It's
Yeah,
like an artist. There's so much artistic things that go into creating a beautiful mix. It's like an artist with a bunch of paints, and
sure.
he paints it in 3D,
Yep, yep,
and that's what you and I do with music is we try to get that 3D image thing going on, far left, far right, up and down, in the middle and back, and we create that with
I'll,
music.
I'll put it another way. I have, I probably get 100 messages a week from different Facebook and YouTube and all different things. And I love it. And I try and respond to everyone. Will this piece do this? Will that piece do that? If I get this, will it get me this sound? Well, here's the thing. That piece will help you get that sound, but it's not gonna make it's not gonna be 100%. It's like a good chef. If they made a burger and only put salt on it, that one piece, it's gonna be a salty burger. What makes that great gourmet burger is the pickles, the mayonnaise, the onions, all applied the right way, not too much, not too little, just right, and you got this delicious meal. So it's what I'm saying.
Right.
Does that
Perfect.
help?
I know. I know. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it's those little steps.
Yeah, it's those little steps.
And at the end of the day, at the end of the mix, it's all those little bitty steps that you made in the process, in the preparation and all that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's a love, dude, that it just gets better and better, man.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Do you EQ a lot?
I try to use the right microphone.
Okay.
Okay. I try to hit it in the beginning
Yeah.
on my EQ, as far as like if it sounds great and I know I got the right microphone on the voice or whatever. If anything, I'll shave off after it's in the mix. I'll
Okay.
put a high pass filter on it and take out the lows. I try not to take out too much because I don't want to take away from the body of the voice. But if I can get away with it and it's not a very dense mix and I can leave a little bit of that low end in, I like to, because that has the character in the voice.
Right.
But if it's a lot of things going on, I feel like I got to push
Oh,
it.
you got to notch it out and make it fit.
Yeah.
So I do and if you watch my videos, like the mixing ones, you'll see like the EQs I use and the plug-in EQs I use, I'm mostly filtering, doing reductive EQ. And then
Yes.
go for my outboard EQ, I'm adding. That's when I'm adding flavor and color and character.
Yeah.
But in box, I'm shooting stuff off. And I think
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you're doing negative EQing going in. Is that
not recording.
okay?
Not recording. Now I will high pass a vocal but I'm talking about mixing.
Oh, I got you. I got
The
you.
box, I do more reductive EQ. With plugins, I'm filtering low passing and high passing, notching things out,
Perfect.
notching things out. But when I go for my outboard gear, that's when I'm usually adding stuff. And I'll still notch out, but I think plug-in EQs notch out better than hardware EQs. At
Oh,
least
wow.
they're very broad.
Yeah. You've got some of those Voltiacs too, don't you?
Yeah, out there, the audio escape Pultex, yeah, those are.
Wow. Wow.
Let me tell you something about Pultex. If you ever have something that has like a tappy, papery sound to it, you throw a Pultec on there, that's gone. It just has a thick punch, man.
Oh, wow.
And a top end too, but I'm talking about the low end of the Pultec, because the way it works is, and I'm not no expert, but I could hear.
Yeah.
And cutting the frequencies, you're boosting and cutting the low end and the high end. All right. So it adds this beautiful bump to it. They sound great.
Wow. Wow. Is it more like a bell type EQ where, you have certain frequencies that'll bump up, or what, Steven?
Yeah. What frequencies you want? They're called cycles on a Pultec, right? So
Okay.
30 cycles or 60 cycles, and then you could boost 60 cycles and then cut it at the same time, and it adds this beautiful bump. It just sounds great. Classic gear, Randy, classic gear is classic gear for a reason.
Ah, no.
And that's the reason why, if you look through my gear list, a lot of the stuff I have is not some exotic things. It's stuff that's tried and true, that's been used. It's already hard enough to get a band all on the same day, all on the same page, all in tune, all sounding good. I want stuff that's going to work and make it easy for me. I want 57s, 421s. You know what I'm saying? U80s,
Right.
S1s. I want the stuff that's working for you. 1176s, 312s, 1073s. That's what I want.
I know.
Because I know it works.
All right. I know.
What they're doing, have done it for 40 years with that gear.
And it's still out there, man. You know what? I was looking at the The Neumann U87 with the original capsule and the original tube in it. It's
Well,
like the F14 or something like that.
U87 doesn't have a tube. Is it a 67?
No, the U47.
Oh,
Did I
40.
say? Yeah, the U47 Neumann original tube, original capsule, 18-20 grand.
I know.
If you can find one in decent working order.
Right. My friend had one. My good friend, I learned a lot from him. He's an older guy. He's been doing it longer than me. And he had a beautiful, like I shot out. Let me show you this real quick.
Oh, the flea.
This is a Flea 47.
I love it.
They are, let's say, 3,500 to $4,000, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I shot this microphone out with 3 original vintage U47s, 2 long bodies and 1 short body.
Short body.
They all had the original tubes.
Mm.
Every time the vintage one sounded about 5 to 8% better. But I will say this, I have never felt like this did not work for me. And it does that thing, and it sounds great. And on top of that, if this tube dies, I could buy another one for 70 to $100. If a tube dies in a vintage U47, you're looking at 2 to 3 grand. That's not worth it to me.
Right.
That's
right.
not worth it.
You know, I know. I love that microphone, Steven. I love that. I had that microphone. I used that microphone. It sounded really, really, really good. Hey, but I wanted to tell you, you probably already know, but now, you know, there's so many of these clones that's out there, right?
Yeah, and that's great.
I think Warm Audio has one for like $1,000 or something.
I never heard it, but you know what? Here's the thing, man. The more people making gear in competition, the better for guys like you and me.
Yes.
Right? So we have more options. And maybe that U47 from Warm, maybe it's great. All right. I don't know. I never heard it. Maybe it's not as good as a real 47, but for $1,000 a piece, you could buy 2 of them, and they're the best drum room mics you've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? For a stereo drum room.
Right.
You never know. Everything has a sound. Everything fits in its place. But I will tell you this. Gear is usually at a price point for a reason. So if one clone is $600 and one clone is 5,000, there's usually a reason why.
Right.
Made somewhere better, you know,
Right.
more put into it, better components, better capacitors, better capsule. You know, there's usually a reason why there's a price difference.
Yeah. 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 And you know what? Like you said before and said earlier on in the show about tried and true.
Let me show you this. I'm going to show you 3 microphones. Okay. This is an original U47, or sorry, U87. This is a 1974 from the old Wally Heider recording studio. It's got he initialed all his gear. I don't know why he engraved it. I bought this microphone probably about 8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago now. I don't know. This is a workhorse, man.
Yes.
This is 7.
That's got the purple badge on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the real deal there.
This sounds great. And I use this for so many things. It's just, you could use it for vocals. I use it for vocals a lot. All different kinds of vocals. You could use it as drum overhead, capturing the bounce off the floor, kick drum, guitar, bass guitar. It just works. Purple badge, Neumann. Now, let me put that one down.
I love that mic, Steven.
Here's a
oh shoot, man.
FET 47.
Wow.
This microphone is the best outside kick microphone I have ever heard. It is great on bass guitar. And you would be surprised, lead vocals sound amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the FET, right? Is that the FET?
7. So this is Neumann's. This came from Pachyderm Studios. I bought this, and this sounds great on vocals, man.
Oh man, I know. I've heard all about that mic on vocals, man.
It's
In
really
fact, Dennis was telling me about that mic and said he loves that mic, man.
great microphone. Yeah, it's good.
Wow, wow.
Hold on, let me show you this one now.
I would have a hard. I mean, do you put like two of them up at a time in front of a vocalist and kind of choose between the two, get them to do a track, and then?
Yeah, I'll show you what I do with that. And then this is another purple badge. This is a KM84.
Yes.
This,
Wow.
oh man, this cymbal sounds so natural and good. I use this for hi-hat a lot, but acoustic guitar, great small diaphragm condenser. Also takes phantom power, but great microphone. Now let me answer that question for you. Here's what I do. Depending on the singer, and if I'm really used to them and they've been in here a lot, I might get away with one microphone. If it's a very dynamic vocal where sometimes they're quiet, sometimes they're loud, I'll put one microphone up and then another, even if it's a lesser microphone, like a large diaphragm, and then a dynamic, like a 421, 57, anything behind it about 6 inches. Not that I want to blend the two, but if he's blasting sometimes and clips this microphone, I have that second microphone that I sort of saves the take.
Right.
Then another time I blend microphones. Sometimes I don't blend mics at all. We just get the right take. And if he clips it, hey, we're doing this part over again. Just depends on if it's a vocal day, we're cutting vocals. So another mic, and this mic, let me show you, got it right here. I pulled some out for you. You ever see one of these?
I haven't seen that mic. What is that?
Okay, this microphone, I think it's called a copper tone. I don't remember. Someone will recognize it and mention what it is. But this microphone sounds like an old AM radio, no low end, very thin sounding. It's like an effect mic. All right. It wouldn't sound good on a vocal alone unless you're going for that effect where, you're screaming through a pickup or something. Even more low end cutout than that. But when you add this with a U47 and you blend this up underneath and you compress this and then tuck it up in the mix, I'm talking tuck it up underneath the main vocal mic, it adds such a cool distortion and character to the sound.
Wow.
Amazing. And you can get a phone, I think, for 200 or under. I forget what the copper tone, maybe it's called. I forget the name of it. Placid Audio.
Okay. Does that when you talk about characteristic to the tone of the sound, does that kind of give it that second and third harmonic sound? Maybe like that Lenny Kravitz song that he sang, where it sounds like there's just some saturation going on with his voice.
Like if you took a mic and cut all the low end underneath, I don't know, from 400 down, like just got it away. I don't know. And it was like and distorted it in a good way. This microphone, this is a cool mic. This microphone is very cool. And then you don't want it as your main vocal mic.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You want it to blend with another mic.
Yeah, and tuck it.
That distorted effect, that's
right.
different.
Right.
And same thing with drums, guitars, everything. Use it with your other mics and you blend it in. That's why I bought it. It works great.
Wow. Wow. And that's a dynamic microphone?
Yeah. Dynamic.
Yeah. Wow. Nice. Nice, man. Yeah, man. There's so much. I wanted to say thank you so much for joining tonight. We're running out of time.
Oh, man. Already?
Okay. Well, I know, right? I know an hour's already went by, man. But hey, look, we're going to do it again, right? And I'm going to put, I guess you know what you need to do, what you ought to do, Steven, is send me in my messenger your information, and then I'll put it in the description after the video's over, because I still got to put in tags and everything else for the video.
I'll send you it. Oh, I want to show you one microphone real quick. I think you're going to recognize this. This is an old, you ever see one of these?
Yes, that's an electric voice.
I seen you. I go, I got one of those.
Yeah. Oh, man.
This is another great mic, like an effect mic.
Yes. You know what? I bet you, I mean, you probably already do it, but a room mic shooting at the whole set from across the room.
I do, right there.
Ah, you got one.
Yeah, I got one. This is called the EV DL42 or something like. I think it's DL42.
Okay, okay, there Electro Voice, we had talked about this before, man, and it just gets better and better. As we keep sharing information, it's just gonna keep getting better and better, but I wanted to say, man,
Yeah.
uh, I had all the microphones, the Turner microphones from the '30s, the Shure microphones, all the 55, all the Shure classic microphones, the chrome ones, and Electro Voice. And I wanted to tell you, man, I found that little one right there. I don't even know what it is, some Chinese, but I did want to say to you, man, having all those mics is just a beautiful thing. And here's the thing, they were all great mics. And talk about EQ going in. Hey, look, I had a singer come over and he was a multi talented person. He played drums, guitar, bass. He played all the parts. He came in and said, I want to do all the parts. I said, fine. So we got a click track going and he started laying down the parts. I had the flea. Okay, the flea up. When it got to his vocals, we did the flea. We did I want to say the 87. Okay. And then the TLM 103, which is another Neumann mic. Uh, and I want to say it was one more other condenser mic. I can't remember which one it was, but he's seen my 55 sitting up on my studio table. And he asked me, he says, does that thing work? I said, yeah, it works. He says, I want to sing through that one.
Yeah, it's an old Shure like Elvis looking mic, right?
Yeah, it bends back, folds
Yeah,
back. It's got the chrome grill in the front
yeah,
and the back.
right. Yeah.
It was the original one. It wasn't the new one. Although I just ordered a new one just to see if it. But
Right.
anyway, we put him up on that mic, Steven, and I swear both of us was sitting and we both were like shook our head at each other. That's the one.
And let me tell you, because sometimes great high fidelity mics pick up too much of what you don't want. Sometimes
Hmm.
you want a mic that just is going to pick up a certain character or tonality or timbre of the voice for that
Right,
track. And it always changes. For,
right.
that's why sometimes, like for me, my voice is deep and raspy. The U47, I could get away with it, but the SM7 sounds better for my vocals
Yeah,
than, so, or
right,
you sounds better.
right. So Ava Antoninazi says hello.
That's my daughter.
Okay. Well, she says hello, hello. But yeah, man, we were talking about that the other day about dynamics, condensers, some voices that are pure, like Karen Carpenter, how you wouldn't want to put a dynamic on her,
Oh, no, no,
but
no.
but people like you and I who have a lot of overtones in our voice, it's not that we're singing out of key or out of tune or anything. It's just that we have overtones in our voice, and we can get by with singing on a dynamic microphone, and it might sound better with us more than the condenser.
That's right, and it usually does. Some vocalists, you don't want everything being heard. You don't want the full picture for that song.
Right.
Other, you want everything. So it just really depends. Everything depends on what you're capturing in the song. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. So, Steven, we're gonna. I don't know what your schedule's like, but we're gonna call each other. We're gonna talk. We're gonna get this set up to where we can get more people involved and seeing more of the screen.
that'd be
And you and I are gonna we're gonna start sharing some really really cool stuff with our audience and everything. And
yeah.
it's just a beautiful thing. But I wanted to tell you, also, I've got a shirt for you, dude. And so you
I want
you
to. I want to pay for.
you don't have to pay
I
for it. Look, this first run,
put it.
this first run, I've given them away, man. I've given them away, every one of them. And so anyway, I got to get you one, and but just yeah, whenever you want to, send me your address.
I will. I'll send you some.
Yeah,
Mine should say audio student on it.
I don't think so, man. You're well, you know what? If you really think about it, we're really all students. You know.
Always, forever.
Forever. And you know what? When I had this shirt made, I don't know if you heard the video, but people were asking, well, what are the stars for on here, man? I got stars there and I got stars here. There's 5 stars on the shirt and they kind of ties in, but it's all about you guys are the stars,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's
Right.
about y'all. And without y'all, there is no show, right? And so that's my like my mentality about it, and that's why I want to try to answer everybody's question, make them feel like they're welcome,
I
man.
do. Whenever I get messages, I try and answer their questions, and if I can, if I know it, if I don't, I learn it. You know.
Right, right. And see, that's what's cool about the group that on the Facebook group is because we got people, man. If you and I can't figure it out, we got
But,
people we can ask, right?
well, yeah, if we, there's always someone that knows something. This has been going on for a long time. It's such a great, and that's why, like on Gear Sluts, when I see people arguing and like really arguing, it's like we're all in this because we have something in common. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
No reason to get nasty. And
right.
I've been in a couple, little arguments on there too. Like everyone's got strong beliefs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Gear Sluts changed the name.
I don't know, man. I just know that what you were saying kind of resonated with me because it's this, Stephen. It's we can all learn from one another,
That's it.
and it's a passion and love we all have. We're for each other and not against each other,
At the
right?
end, I don't want anybody to feel like they can't achieve what they want to achieve, whatever that is in their head. You can do it. You just have to work towards it. And sometimes it takes a shit ton of trial and error. Excuse my language, but it does.
That's okay. That's okay. I know it
Uh-huh.
does. It look. Quincy Jones says you can't make an A if you don't make an F.
That's right.
So we gotta fail and we gotta fall, pick ourselves up, and
Yep.
continue on. Right.
Yeah. There's been times I've done mixes for hours and thought, man, this is worse than before I started. It sounded better when just after it was tracked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
You
I'll step away
you
from come back and take a different approach.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? You keep at it, and you keep at it, and you keep at it till you're satisfied, and everybody's satisfied, and it gets to a point where you gotta go, "Okay, this is it," and you gotta know, as you know, when to say, "This is it," you know what I
Right.
mean? 'Cause, we can nitpick everything because we're listening for this, and we're listening for that, but, when it comes across to you and I and the listeners and the vibe is there and their key attention is about the vocals and the how it comes across and the feeling that we get from that, we gotta forget about the snare or the hi-hat.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was just, I have bands a lot. I'm mixing right here, and I got 5 guys sitting behind me. I let them sit in on the mix. I have no problem with it. And everyone's hearing different stuff, and they're all not sitting in the sweet spot. I am. And they'll be
Right.
like, this or that, or the bass guitar. I'm like, well, that's where you're sitting. Sit right here. And then I'll come and sit right here. And I tell them about that phantom image, where you got to sit right here where both speakers are hitting your ears at the right level at the same time, to where the kick and the snare sound like, and the vocal sounds like it's coming from behind the monitor screen, not the speakers. That triangle, you're in the center of it. So the speakers are hitting your ears at the same time. The sound, and it looks, you could see the snare drum from behind your monitor, if that's what's in the middle of whatever you're mixing. It is here. And then they hear it and see that and be like, I just heard
Uh,
that, never heard it before. Because you just heard it in the sweet spot. That's where I'm sitting all the time. You
right,
know?
right. You're in the cockpit.
That's right. Yeah. And again, like you said, they might be focusing on like a guitar, but I can make that guitar sound great on its own. But if it doesn't fit in the mix and add to the overall song and feel of the song, what good is it? You know?
Right, right. And here's the thing, you probably experienced this, man, and I did too. Every musician wants to be heard, right? If it's a lead guitar player, he wants if it's a drummer or whoever, but it all gets down to this, Stephen, and at the end of the day, you got to tell them all, it's about the song.
That's it.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about him. It's about the song,
That's
right?
right. It's like a drummer that, like, I've had drummers overplay. Serve the song. I don't care how good and how many rolls and toms and stuff you could hit within a measure. If it doesn't fit the song, it's not good. Dumb it down if you have to.
Right, right. That's the beauty of it. But here's the beauty of it too, Steven. At the end of the day, when you've created something that sounds just gorgeous and the vocalist, man, he's popping through and just conveys a message to you. When you lay your head down at night and you're laying down and you still hear that song in your head,
I'll tell you, there's no better feeling to me when I got a good, talented band and I got everything dialed in. I dialed in all the tracks and we're rolling those first takes and the playback from the monitors are just sounding gorgeous before anything's mixed, no EQ, just, what I'm tracking. To me, that's the best feeling when you get a good band that,
I know. And here's the thing, man. It's easy.
yeah, it is. If they're
It's
good,
e-
it's see a lot for a while. Like I was mixing a band, I'd be mixing a band, and I discovered after mixing many bands, am I mixing this band or am I fixing this band? Like, am I
right,
trying to fix bad performances so much that I can't mix it? Well, that's not mixing, that's fixing. But
right,
when you weed them out and you get those good performers, you're mixing. Now you're taking something good and just making it better.
right, right. Right, and you know what? Sometimes it takes, as you know, when other things step in and need to be heard, it's pulling things back. It's moving those faders and creating that motion of in and out and that swelling of things going on. Some people use compression to do that, and some people ride those faders, to the master
And
and
that's it.
automation.
And here's what before I even touch a compressor or an EQ, I spread it off across my board and I play with the levels and the panning and I get everything in areas that I want. Get it all in areas that I want before I touch an EQ or compressor. And then I'll apply EQ, compression, reverb. And the last thing I ever apply is automation. That's when I make things jump in a mix, or I'll even automate reverbs, not just vocals. I'll
Right.
automate reverb to a vocal.
Yes. Delays, whatever.
Yeah, and that's what makes a song dance. Is when you have here comes the chorus, boom, the reverb pops up, it gives you more space, and then it comes back down for a verse or a break. You know,
One of the first little tricks that I loved, and I want to share this with everybody, and I hope they try this in their mix next time because it really made a lot. It was an eye opener for me. You know, when compressors came into the picture, it seemed like we went through that 80s era where, or maybe it was the 90s where they were just smashing everything to where it was so compressed. It was just right. They wanted to see how loud they could get the song. And you and I think we're talking about this. And when you listen to CDs that were produced in the 60s and in the 70s or 80s, cassette tapes or whatever, there was so much more dynamics going on.
yeah,
Okay. But what I really like to do in a mix, and I know you know about this, but there's people out there that doesn't. When it gets to the chorus section, and I always love to either use automation or just go ahead and bump it up a dB or a dB and a half so that it slams coming into the chorus section and gives that springboard that the song needs to jump to hit you in the face.
yes. And you could also do that with your print. You could take, say, I don't know if you mix analog or in the box, whatever you do, you could take the stereo file and go to the choruses and just not even a full dB, 0.5, just boost it just a little bit,
A
just
little bit.
that little lift up.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Brushing the right way is very important. And you're right, for a long time, people were just smashing stuff bad.
smashing it so hard. I hated it was like I couldn't stand to listen to it. If you look at the audio file, Steve, it's like a block.
Yeah,
There's
there's no
there's
dynamic.
there's no dynamics in it, man. And it's like, you know what, when we were growing up listening to music, if we wanted it louder, we just turned it up.
I'd rather have a better sounding mix than a louder mix, but louder usually wins just because it's louder.
It's louder.
When you hear good dynamics, see, compression could change the perception of time if it's applied right. It doesn't just have to smash down and lift up the volume. It could,
Mhm.
if you apply it right, you could have movement in instruments and make stuff fit.
Yeah.
And great thing with compression.
Steven, I love it, man. I love what we're doing, and everybody else is going to love what we're doing. If you're out there, man, give us a thumbs up on the video.
If a
I'm
thumb,
going to Yeah, but I'm gonna I'm gonna put you, Steven, down there in the at the bottom, man, your information where people can contact you, man.
All right, no problem, man.
You know,
Even if,
people can reach out to you and contact you, set up a time to do some studio time with you when you're available.
sure, yeah,
And I wanna do that on all of our stuff because, I mean, you've got some great, things to share with people. Not only do you have knowledge and experience, under your belt, but you've got the gear too to make it all happen and come together,
yeah, yeah. Get a
you
hold.
know?
We'll put my contact information down there. People can send me tracks. Yeah, we could. I'm available.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Steven. And look, man, we'll get together, message me, on my messenger, and we'll do another show. We're gonna call this one part one, and we'll just do this a little series. But look, man, this is what we need to do. We need to figure out how a way we can, in real time, let everybody see you in the studio and working.
I would love to do that.
You
I would love
know,
to comment and want to hear different stuff on different tracks, and I'll apply it, and we'll mix it together in real time.
so your daughter Ava, she's loving it. She's loving the show tonight.
Yeah, she's my biggest fan.
Awesome, man. Let's see. Okay, so Malcolm says hi to Ava, but yeah, thank you so much, every one of you, for joining tonight. Look, every one of you are the stars, man, and y'all are all important to us. Without y'all, there is no show. Okay, and we're just here for the ride and what we know we want to share with you guys, right, Steven?
That's it, man.
You
That's
know,
it.
and you know what? Look, we're never in a place in life, at least we shouldn't be, that we tell ourselves we can't learn something new.
I learn off beginners. I
I
can learn
know.
anybody. Even if someone just starting, I'll learn something new. You
I
know?
know. It's a beautiful thing, man. I love it. And you know what? As I grow and as I age into this compassion and love that you and I both share, because it is a love that you and I both share, right? And as I mature into it and grow into it, I find more and more I'm fascinated with trying to be a better listener.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's music. You have to listen.
And look, the best engineers are the greatest listeners.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for joining in tonight.
You did it.
We'll see you again, man, and yeah, we'll contact one another, man, and we'll do another show, man. Okay,
Sounds good, man. Thank you very much, and thanks for everyone that logged in and who's going to log in the future when they see it on YouTube.
perfect. Thank you so much, Stephen. We'll see you again. Okay, man. Okay, buddy. Okay. Good night. Thank you guys for joining in tonight, and we will see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining in. Steven is wonderful, and he is just amazing person. I'm so glad I was able to get him on the show tonight and have him with us. And we're going to be doing some more series with Steven. So as you guys heard, we got I mean, there's just so much for us to learn, right? And what a great little thing that we're doing. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, you can go in the little group section and type in Audio Master and come join us, man. Come join us, post your music. If you're a musician, an engineer, a producer, or wherever you're at, it doesn't matter where you're at, what level you're at. Come join us, man. That's what it's about. We're creating this beautiful hub where we can all join and come together and share our love and compassion for the music that we love. So thank you guys for joining in, and we will see you tomorrow night. Thanks so much.